Are you a restaurateur who's been struggling trying to figure out how do I run a successful restaurant? For years, people have talked about the difficulty of running a restaurant, the millions and millions of things that go into running a successful restaurant while maintaining work-life balance. And it's gotten even more complicated with COVID and all the new things. What's new? What's going on? How do I survive? How do I thrive? Well, today we're going to talk about there's really only 5 things that you need to know to run a successful restaurant that you need to focus on. Not a million things to focus on, but only 5. Does that make you feel a little bit better? Well, then go on a walk with me and we'll talk about it. So you probably think I'm crazy, right? How could anyone just focus on 5 things to run a successful restaurant? Well, let me get through this and then you can decide if I'm crazy or not. Number 1, the most important thing that a restaurateur needs to focus on is people. That includes yourself first. What kind of a leader are you? Are you the champion of your team? Are you the champion of your culture? Are you setting the example? The second thing is your team. Obviously, your team is an extension of your business, and so many times you don't get to interact with every single guest, but your team does. So focusing on yourself and your leadership skills, focusing on your team are the 2 most important things that you can do in the people category. The next one is the guest. We're in this business for them. They are not the interruption of our business, they're the reason for our business. So focusing on them is as critical as focusing on yourself and your team. The next is your vendor partners. We tend to try to get the best, get one over on our vendors, try to get them to give us the lowest rates, the lowest prices. And what I encourage is for you to look for symbiotic relationships where your vendors are your partners. They're not trying to get the better of you. You're not trying to get the better of them. You're working together in harmony for the common good of both businesses. And when you do that, I think you can be extremely successful. The next area in people is your community. You have to be engaged. Don't just join the Chamber of Commerce so that your name goes on a brochure. Be involved, go to meetings, be engaged in the community. Get to know your concierges. Be involved, be part of fundraisers for the city, give back to the city. And then the final thing in the people category is your home life. There's a lot of people that really support you, and you can't take them for granted. You have to prioritize your home life as well. When your home life's not good, your business life isn't good. You can't really eliminate one from the other. They both affect one another. And so focusing on the people in your home, people around you that are important to you, is also a priority. So that's number 1, people. So after people is product. Product is number 2. This includes your brand. What is your brand? It's a product, right? It's a whole package. And so focusing on your brand is important. Focusing on the ambiance of your restaurant, very, very important. It's the ambiance and these other things that I'm going to mention that really make up the guest experience. The next one is your food. You got to focus on your food. Make sure that it's good. We can't have a bunch of fluff on the menu. There's a lot of bad things and a lot of good things. You need to make sure that everything on your menu is excellent, or don't put it on your menu. The next thing is beverage. You got to really focus on matching your beverage, to your ambiance, to your brand, to your food, and to the clients you're looking to attract. That includes what you serve, what you charge for it, and things like that. So first two things are people, and then product. Number 3, systems. You've got to have amazing systems. You've got to have great systems for HR. You have to have great systems for operational execution. You've got to have great systems for marketing. You've got to have great systems for cost control. You've got to have great systems that create the culture that you're trying to establish for your people. And those are critical things. Systems are as important as your people and your product. You've got to have things in place that set your people up for success. Likewise, you can't run successful systems without great people. So focus on systems. Obviously, sales are critical. They say that sales cures all ills. When you have an abundance, there's the ability to operate. It's hard to stay open if you don't have sales. So when you're looking at prioritizing sales, focus on guest counts. Try to get as many people in the door as possible. Focus on check averages. How do I build a check that doesn't just gouge the guests, but gets them to feel like they had a great experience? We want to use upselling to enhance the dining experience, not just to build the check. Third, repeat. What are we going to do to get these people back? You can spend a lot of money in marketing, but if you don't get these people back, you got to spend more marketing dollars. So sales is number 4. Make sure that you're focused on building sales, and that should be a major part of your day and your focus. Okay, so let's recap. Number 1, people. Number 2, product. Number 3, systems. Number 4, sales. And number 5, profit. Profit consists of managing 4 areas on the P&L. You've got your prime costs. That consists of your cost of goods and your labor. You have the controllable section. This is an area that you can control. It's things like linen, supplies. The final category is non-controllables. Don't let that word fool you, though. Some of the non-controllables are actually controllable. And this will all give you your profit. Profit is very, very important. You can't do business running in the red for very long. You don't want to be continually putting money back into the business. You want to be able to profit from it. So one last note, don't focus as much on percentages when it comes to net profit or EBITDA. Focus on dollars. You may make some decisions that have you slightly run a higher cost of goods, but it may bring more dollars to the bottom line. And you don't take percentages to the bank, so make sure that your total focus is on bringing dollars to the bottom line. Well, that's our 5 things that are most important. See, it's not a million, it's just 5. If you want to know more on what I do of coaching people to be able to successfully manage and focus on those 5 areas, reach out to me at monty@restaurateur.com. Until next week, have a great day. If you like this video, please subscribe, share, click to the next video. I have tons of videos. Every video that I do, every blog that I write still focuses on those 5 things. All right, until next time.